So I wanted to do this. Oh, come on, F11. Oh, I got it. Okay, and I want. I've got a Zalman virtual drive. It's actually kind of cool. I don't know if it's available even anymore, but I may actually. So try UbuntuStudio without installing, and then run it off the SSD. So it's a little device. If I do remember, I'll include a picture of it. I mean, since this is screen's waiting for it to load, I'll do it here, and um, it lets you essentially run ISOs as virtual CDs as you saw there. So it's very, very useful if you need to either load various machines or if you want to have a disk or if you want to have a set of CDs, and I'm doing quotes, for recovery utilities and various other things. It becomes very, very useful. So that's essentially what I use it for. So now I've got the exact same machine set up from the previous one. And let's say, as that one user requested, let's do some video editing. The downside is I don't think Blender, Kdenlive. Let's see how this works. So I've not tried this yet, and actually that loads pretty fast because I want to say it's from the SSD. And let's see, with the exception of, I don't really see any issues. Maybe I should copy some video files over. Okay, what I'm going to do is, actually, you know what? Since this drive, I still have the spare drive in there. Since I'd reformatted that to a Windows machine, let me open up one of my current projects. Let me go here. Okay, the drive is recognized, and this drive, double click on it, should load. There we go. Work well with tech. It's where my video files are, and let's see if I can open the project there. So assuming, and this drive is formatted, go home, let's see, I want to say it mounts under media, and then it gives it that crazy, there we go. This is the UUID of the drive. Ooh, let's hope. Okay, looked like I'd clicked it over and copied it. I'll do new tutorials, second home drive. Yeah, I need to get this done. There is issues with that. Actually, this is waiting to be completed. Let's see. And actually, let's just do this one. Where is that? Studio Media Drive. Okay. I know there's something here, but it doesn't say. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this all over again. Okay, finally got to a project that I'd stored the Kdenlive project file in that folder. This is the one downside, or kind of the downside of Kdenlive, and I'll kind of go through how that's sort of stored. But so I finally found a project that's actually that I'll be able to open. This is as I was talking about earlier before I stopped the video, or if I maybe stopped it beforehand, because I do this on the fly. I don't really, as you can tell by all the noises, I'd like to have enough time to go back and do a proper video processing, but downside is I get to ramble, so it wouldn't help, and there's no way I'd sync it. Okay, so I got media. This is the root drive, media, Ubuntu Studio. This is the UUID from the, as I previously mentioned about how you can add additional drives. Not super relevant, but whenever you load something on a live USB or on a live Ubuntu disk, it's going to say media, usually the distribution. So if this is Ubuntu Studio, then the device ID, it never makes sense. You just have to click on it and see I've got my folder, what I'm processing, and then kind of drill down, and eventually I find my, there's no more room. Let me see if I can open that up a bit without and video. So here's where I have the video files. Let me open this project up, and it complains that there is something missing. Let's see, I'll just use placeholders for both those. And file says it's been upgraded, so there is that issue. And project clip. So, and here it won't show anything because the projects aren't, it hasn't been able to find these video clips. Or, yeah, it doesn't find that either. But it looks like it actually, this really doesn't help. Video is there. Maybe it needs the absolute path. Let me give it this one, place of that. And oh wow, that's really okay. Maybe this will be an issue because this is the clip I need. But that seems to be, and the reason this has not been posted is because this was a very older camera just with bad selection. The project is not going to show anything, but the this may be possible, and there's just no way that's not going to show. I mean, what I mean by show is that it maintained this and then render it. It should, and I'll just hit render. Let's see, render MP4. I'm just doing this really quick to kind of show that instead of calling it. Let's see, does it actually? It really does store the relative path. Oh no, when I asked it to add placeholders, it did that. So let's say -temp and render to file. And it's going to complain, could not create, make sure I have permissions. Okay, that's going to be an issue. Okay, let's try something else really quick. This is as I mentioned, this is a USB. I've got a share folder that should allow me to. And media, UbuntuStudio, see how there is this folder here? And I'm just trying to render this so that I can, we'll leave temp there, save. Ubuntu Studio does let you read and write to NTFS file system, which is what the standard Windows is, and it looks like it's writing out to that. This should work. The only issue or the possible concern is that this UUID, the way these drives identify themselves, as long as you maintain the same drives, you shouldn't run into the issue of I wouldn't say breaking, but you won't run into the same configuration or missing file issues I did previously. So since this is going, I'm not going to let it run and render. So this should show, what I'll do is I'll abort the job. So it looks like it does and it will render to a file. If I close that, sure, why not? Save changes. And now it's complaining about this. So it looks like because this is an ext4 mounted system, it's not letting me write that file, which is the configuration, the Kdenlive. So that actually poses an issue. Let's try something else. Let's try this. What I'm going to do is stop the video again, copy the files, that project file over to the NTFS drive, and then pick it up from there. Okay, so I've copied it over. Now I'm going to launch it. So as you can see, Media, Ubuntu Studio. I know I keep going over this, but I want everyone to acknowledge, or at least realize that I'm running it from different locations. This is the NTFS drive, the Windows drive here that I have on my little video production system, share, unboxing video, and this is the previous Kdenlive project. Should open that up. So now here it's going to say complain that it can't find those. So what I'm going to do is Let's do a search recursively. Don't think I've ever done that for those. So it picks up in the current file system. Okay, let's do that again. Search recursively. This should be in the way I've got mine set up. Audio, and found that. Let me click OK. So project file is upgraded to latest. Yes. Okay. So here I have the file and audio. So let's render this. Okay, this is much better. First, before I do that, because of the way Kdenlive can be, let me save the project first. Save it. Okay, so actually it looks like it's, if you are storing your file systems, or if you have your file system as a, let me change this so I don't overwrite. In my case, it's not an issue because I don't have, this needs to be redone because of the quality of the video. It's just horrendous. And as much fun as it is to see people tear into, that's not 1080p, that's filmed with a potato. That's right, overhead potato. But as you can see, this is, it says it's waiting. Um, Not the fastest machine I have, but it is the one spare machine I have in order to do Linux video production, or YouTube video. So that should show. And let me go back to the file manager. Did I abort that? Wow, this new mouse is really, it's a touchpad. It is a touchpad keyboard that I'm going to eventually do a review on as I've used it. But just a heads up, mouse pad, super sensitive. So it is storing the path. Oh man, that's unfortunate. I didn't watch the path of where it was throwing the video, so it's just it's rendering it here, because if I stop, this will disappear and it'll leave this text file. It's kind of the way it stores progress. If I look here, see how in real time this is increasing, the file size is increasing, and if I abort it, we're not going to see it, but I'll come back to it. Only because as you can tell, Kdenlive, when I click here, is full screened. And oh, that's weird. Not sure why that didn't full screen. Oh, because I clicked on here. So, so I'll close that. So, for those that were interested, or the person who had asked, if you have a Windows file system and have multiple drives, and then you want to run at least this video production, let me save my changes to that. I can close that. Let me go back. Oh, I don't want this one. So I can go back to my project file, ignore these two, these backups. It does it for you automatically. I can open it back up on my Windows NTFS drive, and then still there. So it looks like this is actually possible, as long as your machine's fast enough, and you, most likely it's faster than mine, I'm sure, and you are fairly diligent about the way you do your paths, and you set up your videos, and whatever workflow you have, as long as you're consistent, diligent about it, you shouldn't have an issue running Kdenlive. Audio stuff, I've used Audacity, but I've never used it running live. I'm obviously not doing that now, but it looks like it is possible. So if anyone tries that, or if anyone has success or issues, let me know. Drop it in the comments. Maybe it'll help somebody else. If not, leave me a suggestion, and hopefully when I get some extra time, I'll get around to it. But for everyone who's stuck around, thanks for watching.